All right, we are here with another locals deck profile with the creator of the channel himself, Jordan.
Yes, sir.
Let's see what you're running. Let's do this.
Yeah, for sure. Running what I typically always run, LiveTwins, but with some extra support that Konami gave us. Ended up going, I think XO today, so went undefeated.
Undefeated, let's go.
Went undefeated. It's okay to be a bad player when you're playing the best deck, so it is what it is.
Unless you're playing Missing Mind, then
Unless we're playing Missing Mind, we don't play that trash. But I am playing LiveTwin Runick Spright. It's kind of similar to PAX build, you'll kind of see. I am missing some cards here and there, but at the end of the day, the results speak for itself. It's just still too good. So starting off with, we'll do our LiveTwin package. We're playing our 2 Lilla, our 2 Kiss to Kill, and our 1 Frost. I just can't bring myself to cut the ratio down any further. I feel like just guaranteeing to see one of these is just absolutely insane. Frost, if you have an Evil Twin on the board, anytime your opponent adds a card to their hand in any way, you banish this draw card, so it just kind of helps you keep your resources up. So blue's the best one to start off with. Pink isn't bad, but I mean, you want to see blue, but you have to play all of them. Next, we got our sprites. We got our 2 blues. I mean, just the heart and soul of the deck. Searches any sprite monster you need. Only have 2, and honestly, I've been playing it for so long, I might just play it at 2. I think it's plenty fine, and it never comes up when I would need the 3rd one. Next, you play your 3 Spright Jet. Honestly, the second best card of the Spright engine. Searches your spell trap, so searches your starter, searches your smasher, and then searches the spice in the side deck, so you'll see that. And then we play 1 each of Pixie's Carrot and Red. Red is your monster negate, Carrot's your spell trap negate, and then Pixie's is basically kind of like Honest from field or hand, which is kind of nuts. And I was really on the fence about this card for a long time, and I kind of just put it in on a whim at 1 locals, and I'm never taking this card out. People are not expecting this, people don't play around this, and once you drop it on them game 1 and you continue to just have it, they're always terrified of it. So you can just kind of mind game people with it. It's really nice. Next, you play your god cards, aka the frog package. I mean, you're just setting up totally awesome. It just gives you so much resource for free. Turn 3, if you keep at least one of your twins on board, you can just special back a twin, or if you keep both of them on board, you can go into access code basically for free by banishing a swap, summoning the Ronin, and then using the unicorn you make to link off into access code. You can do all of that without committing to your normal summon. So if they stop you or nib you, you're like, dang, that's crazy. Normal summon at level 2, continue Spright plays. Next, hand traps. We got 2 Ash, 2 Bow, 2 DD Crow. I'm just a really big fan of 2 ofs. I haven't done the math on opening up, but I think that if I don't do the math, then the math doesn't matter. DD Crow just hits your tier stuff, hits like Toad, hits Ronin. This stops Elf, hits tier, and then obviously Ash is just a great hand trap.
Bro, you're not watching Alabama, Texas?
Hey yo, I'm doing deck profile 1. It's all good. Spans over time in football. Next, the 1 Sunny Snitch. I just want to kind of keep it that way. What is this man doing?
The better continue spell.
Oh my god, get out of here, bro. Quit flexing your pickups in my deck profile. New deck profile coming soon. This just searches either your starter or your extender for your LiveTwin plays. Also, if you have this on the board and you control an Evil Twin, one of the links burns ads, so your big chillin' comes up in time, and some people just forget about this and then they can't kill you. Next, 3 Spright starter, just tutors out of the deck any Spright that you feel like you need. So super good. Also allows you to kind of play on your opponent's turn. If they dark relay you, you can just do this into whatever Spright you need. Or the funny thing about it too is you just go, dang, that's crazy. Starter, summon blue effect, search pixies, and then it's like just go battle phase, dude. What are you worried about?
Win game.
The 1 smashers might bump this up to 2, but it's really good. Non-targeting Banish is just insane. It deals with so many problem cards. Banished Kaleido Hearts, banished Tune Kingdoms, banished just everything. Next, I tried out the Runick package today. So I'm playing 3 of the Flashing Fire, 1 of the Freezing Curse. The Flashing Fire is the Destroy, the Freezing Curse is the Negate, and then you banish X amount of cards, or they also allow you to continue to play. Basically, the main reason why I really like this engine is this stuff does come up, but more so, it just gives me extra protection from getting like my normal summon gammed or something like that. That way, I just have ways to continue to keep playing, even if they stop my normal summon or like continually pop level 2s off my board. As long as I haven't fully committed and I still have resources in hand, I can just go, dang, that's crazy. Activate this effect, summon out Huggins. Well, what do you know? I have a level 2 on my board. Runick Fountain, this card's actually insane. Play quick play spells from your hand. Also, when you activate one, you target up to 3 Runick spells in your grave, and then you just put them on the bottom and draw 2, or draw 3. So Pot of Greed, or Pot of Greed +1, is actually kind of nice, and this came up for me today where I used one, shuffled 2 back, and drew into blue-red. So it just allowed me to play next turn for free. So it's kind of insane. It just helps you, honestly. The 1 Dark Ruler no more. It's nice if I draw into it, but mainly it is for this card right here, the Crossout. There are so many times today that I just, set this. They went Dark Ruler and I just chained, called Dark Ruler, banished it, their Dark Ruler's negated, and then you just win the mental game because they can't play. Or they expected that to go through and it didn't. So now they have to play through Toad. They have to play like through 2 Toads, Kiss to Kill, Lillipops, draws, IP Masquerena, whatever I set up. Next, you got your 1 called by. It's called by, you play it. And then your 3 Imperm. I think this hand trap is actually super insane in the format right now, and it's just good, man. It's just good. Gonna go into the extra deck a little bit. Before I do, one of the things that I think I enjoy about this deck the most is the versatility of end boards you can put up. I mean, you're pretty much always going to go for the Toad if you absolutely can, but because this deck puts so many resources on board, you can really kind of like tutor your board to decide what you need. So I can go into the LiveTwin Evil Twin engine to get a targeted pop and draw on my turn and then pop on their turn. Or I can go into IP to kind of climb into some of my other sauce in the extra deck. So I just really like the versatility overall. But next we got the 1 mandatory Huggins. This is what you summon off your Runick spells. Also, this searches your field spell. Just really nice. It's a level 2. I don't know why they did that, but it just insulates you from getting your normal summon stopped. You got the Boy Toad. This is your Omni Negate. This is your boss monster, quote unquote. It's an Omni Negate. It's Toad. What more do you need? Next, 2 Gigantic. This was at 1 for a while, but the second one does come up occasionally just to help kill. And this is your Nib Proof. Also, this card's just nuts. Next one, Almirage, only comes up for the swap. The only thing that you have is normal summon swap. That's really it. So, it's one of those things where it's a contingency plan. You don't really need it, but the times that you don't have it, you really realize how bad you need this card. Next, 2 Elf. I was playing 1 because I didn't have the second, but I was able to pick the second one up today before the tournament, and honestly, I could never go back to 1. It just makes it to where, like, I used to be really worried about my elf getting, like, either had to be linked off with IP or, like, getting destroyed by battle. So I would make, like, kind of bad plays just to ensure that this stayed on board. But now it's like, that's fine. And because if you make this, it doesn't lock you like Starter and Gigantic do, you can just make this as, like, a good turn 2 play. Or turn 3 play rather, and just summon back literally anything you need because your graveyard is full of resources, and they're probably going to have a monster on board, so literally just gets you anything you need from your graveyard. IP doesn't come up super often, but it does come up to make my Underworld Goddess. Watching someone's face when you just link away their boss monster or a monster they really needed to stick on the board is just kind of funny, and this card just comes up so much. Sorry, I skipped ahead a little bit. We'll put that back over there. Next, your Evil Twin package. I cut it down to 3 just because you don't really ever need to see the second Lilla. If you do, you're probably already in a bad place anyways if you're having to stick to like just this engine. It really pained me to cut it down just because I'm a LiveTwin player at heart and I love this deck, and I'm just so happy that the Spright and Runick cards kind of play really well with this. So it kind of hurt me, but just for the sake of extra deck space, I felt like I needed to do it. So, but yeah, this is your on summon if you control Lilla. This is a draw. On summon if you control a Kiss a Kill. This is a pop. So it just gives you extra interruption, and they recur themselves. So you just, you keep the resource game. Spright decks are notoriously bad for just vomiting your entire hand. So this just allowing you to keep resources in hand along with the Runick engine just makes sure that you always have a play next turn, even if they break your entire board, and that's just super helpful. Next, Nightmare Unicorn. I can go into this with Masquerena, or I can make this on my turn 3 crackback. It'll be co-linked, so I can, if you end up on something like this, literally any normal summon or Ronin effect banishing swap to summon itself can link one of these off into here, regardless if I need to draw or pop. Target, spin a card, draw a card, normal summon anything, go boom, into your access code, use this, summon back this, get a pop, use this for whatever links you have engraved to get some non-targeting pops, and then you link these two into Trouble Sunny. Still got to play the boss monster always and forever in my heart. Konami, thank you for a Starlight. This card just continues your resource engine, summons both of these back. So you can legitimately get 53 right here, and then this will give you another 33, and then this effect in battle phase gives you another 22. So you're way overkilling your opponent while also, spinning a card, popping a card, drawing a card, non-targeting banishing a card. So you just have so many ways to remove cards. And then, lastly but not least, like you saw earlier, the Underworld Goddess. Again, just linking off your opponent's stuff is kind of funny, and it's just nice. It's nice with it, man. But that's it for the extra. And last but not least, the side. I'm playing 2 Nib. I put these in before the tournament today, and honestly, I'm never going back. Nibbing virtual world players, nibbing danger tier element players, nibbing just anything is insane. I didn't get to play any Spright mirrors, but honestly I would not play this in a Spright mirror unless they're just a bad Spright player, because they should not be playing into this card ever. But against danger tier, they're putting up a bunch of stuff, so they're gonna play into this heavy. Against rogue decks, they're gonna play into this heavy, like Math Mech. They're gonna play into this really bad. So it's just kind of like your insurance. It's just really nice, and you have easy ways to out the token regardless of how big it is. Next, we are playing the 1 dupe in the side. I was a dupe frog hater for the longest time because, obviously it just makes your Toad super polyable. But the reason why I decided to play it in the side is because if I'm playing into a matchup that doesn't play super poly, for example, I played against Toon today and I know Toon doesn't play super poly. If I slide this in and just summon this on their standby off of Toad effect, what do? They have to deal with this, and it just insulates my entire board from being hit over, and it's just really nice. So currently in testing, might come back out, but it's just, I don't know, it's just Dupe Frog. Next, the 2 Cosmic Cyclone and the Harpy's Feather Duster. You need spell trap removal. Unfortunately, mine is still in the format. Eldritch is still around occasionally. Floodgates are still around. So you just want some way besides your smashers to deal with it. Not much more to say about that. Triple Tactics on the side. I keep going back and forth between side and main just because some people just aren't on hand traps and they're just strictly on board breakers. So if I see this against them, game 1, if I put this in the main deck, then this card's basically just useless. Going second, it just helps you absolutely destroy some boards. And then going first into a matchup after siding that I know plays a lot of hand traps, or tier where they're gonna have Havinous on my turn, I just go, damn, that's crazy, do this, and depending on what I need to do, I can either look at the hand and take out a resource, I can Pot of Greed if I need kind of that extra extension, or I can just take something if they've already put something on board and then just link it off and just not even have to deal with it. So it's a good card. Again, I can't really figure out where I'm at with it in the deck yet, but we'll figure it out eventually. Next, Gamma Burst. This card's actually cracked. I don't care what anyone says. Just being able to outright kill your opponent out of nowhere because you have like 4 sprites on board and they just all gain 1,400. It didn't come up today, but I played against a virtual player and I knew he was playing Scythe. And I was just thinking, I was like, oh, okay, like if I put this in my deck going second and he Scythe combos me, if I can bait out like Baron negates or whatever interaction he has, and just keep sprites on the board in attack mode, I can just go battle phase, do this, and I can easily get to game. So it just helps you play through Scythe, so that's really nice. And also, when you do have your full board, it just helps you kill even harder. I think I put up like over 10k damage against a tier element player just because this card and literally everything I had on board. Second Dark Ruler. If I need it going second, I can side this in. It really hasn't come up. Might change, but you never know. Next, the card that always gets drawn on my turn off of the Kiss a Kill draw, Anti-Spell Fragrance. The amount of times I've top decked this after I go Lila Effect, Sunback, Kiss a Kill, and this is my top deck after they've either decided not to shuffle or even if they do shuffle and I just draw this, I'm like, cool. This is insulated from, Cosmic or Twin because of Toad, and against spell decks, they just legit cry. So it's just real. And then lastly, the best card in the format, I think, for breaking boards is Evenly Matched. It's just so good. Just literally saying the words battle phase to someone can literally just destroy their entire spirits. I think I resolved Evenly Matched today against a tier player for I don't know, what was it, Nate? 8 cards, 7 cards, something ridiculous. It was 7 or 8 cards. It was just actually insane. And then you're like, dang, that's crazy. Normal summon a Spright, and depending on what they kept, if they kept a back row, you just normal summon a Spright, and then you just starter out Carrot, and then it's cool. Now your one interaction that I know you have, the back row, is completely cut off, so it's irrelevant. I'm not worried about it. But it just allows you to basically just not even have to play through boards. You're just allowed to be cool, I'm not going to play through the board, banish whatever you want, and then I'm just going to set up my board. I just get to basically go first again, so that's really nice. But yeah, it's a really fun deck. Again, I think it's really, really strong. I think this version of the deck it's very enjoyable to play. It can vary quite a bit depending on what I'm playing, what I feel like I need to end on. Toad is almost always a guarantee, but whether it's the LiveTwin engine or the IP Masquerena to link into the Underworld Goddess engine, it just facilitates itself really well, and I really, really am enjoying playing this deck. And obviously it shows because I'm seeing results. So
Awesome. Have any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to the channel, me, obviously. Shout out to the Gathering Place for hosting tournaments. Shout out to Nate for the Runick stuff. I appreciate that a lot. Shout out to Bert, the other Nate, everyone who came in today for, locals and stuff. And hopefully you'll get to see some more deck profiles in the future.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep.